Welcome home. However you arrived here tonight, tired or worried or simply worn thin by an ordinary day that asked more of you than it seemed to, you're welcome. There's nothing you need to have sorted out before you're allowed to rest. There's no version of yourself that you need to become first. You are welcome exactly as you are, in this exact state, on this exact night. For the next hour, nothing is required of you. Not productivity, not insight, not even attention particularly. Just a willingness to be here, in this body, on this bed, inside this one unremarkable, entirely sufficient moment. Let the eyes close if they haven't already. Let the breath come in and go out at whatever pace it wants tonight. There's no correct way to breathe your way home. There's only breathing and being here while you do it. Tonight is a homecoming in 3 parts. The body will be welcomed first, this faithful, tired, wondrous thing that has carried you through every version of yourself you have ever been. Then the heart, with everything it has felt and carried and survived. Then the mind, with all its noise, finally allowed to quiet. And at the end, all 3 together, arriving in the same place at last. There's nowhere else to be, only here, only home. Think of what it actually feels like to come home after being away for a long while. The particular relief of setting the bags down by the door, of not having to be anywhere else for the rest of the night, of finally being surrounded by the things that you know best. That is the feeling this hour is reaching for. not a new place, not a better version of yourself waiting somewhere up ahead, just the old, familiar relief of being back where you belong. You don't have to hurry toward that feeling. It isn't going anywhere. It will still be here in 5 minutes, in 20 minutes, in an hour, exactly as available as it is right now. So there is no need to rush the settling. Let it happen slowly, the way real rest always does, a little at a time, layer by layer, until there's nothing left holding you apart from it. Begin with the body, because the body has been doing this work the whole time, mostly without thanks. Feel it now, exactly as it is. The weight of it against the mattress, the small rise and fall of the chest, the warmth held in wherever the covers touch skin. This body has carried you through every day of your life so far, through days you don't even remember, through days you'd rather forget, through days that asked more of it than felt fair. And here it still is, steady, present, willing to be felt. Let the awareness move gently through it now, the way someone walks slowly through a house they've missed. Feel the feet heavy at the end of the bed, the ankles softening, the legs no longer needing to hold anything up tonight. Let them rest completely, fully supported by whatever is beneath them. Feel the hands. Think of everything they have held over the years. Other hands, cups of tea, the weight of hard days, the softness of good ones. Let them go still now. Let them stop holding anything at all. The belly rising and falling with breath. The chest opening slightly with each inhale, settling with each exhale. The shoulders, which likely carry more than their fair share of the day's weight, invited now to drop just slightly away from the ears. This body has never once asked to be perfect. It has only ever asked to be lived in, gently, the way a house asks only to be occupied rather than constantly renovated. Tonight, let it simply be occupied. Let it be home. Notice the places that have carried the most today. Perhaps the neck or the lower back, or somewhere behind the eyes that has been quietly aching for hours without much attention paid to it. There's no need to fix these places tonight, only to notice them kindly, the way you might notice a friend who has been working hard all day, and simply say, "I see you. You can stop now." Let a slow, silent breath move into whichever part of the body is asking for it most, and let that breath be the only tending it needs tonight. The spine long and supported, the neck releasing whatever it has been holding upright all day, the face, often the last place to truly rest, softening now around the eyes, the jaw, the small muscles that hold expressions the mind isn't even aware of anymore. Let all of it go slack. There is no one left to perform for tonight. My body has carried me faithfully. Tonight it is welcomed and at rest. Breathe that all the into the places that have been holding tension without you noticing. My body has carried me faithfully. Tonight it is welcomed and at rest. Think for just a moment of everything this body has quietly survived. Illnesses it recovered from without complaint, exhaustion it kept moving through, years it simply kept going, day after day, mostly without thanks. It has never once given up on you. Even on the days you might have given up on it. Tonight, let that faithfulness be met with something back. Let it be met with rest, freely given, no conditions attached. Now gently, the heart, not to examine it or fix it or ask it to explain itself, only to welcome it exactly as it is tonight. Whatever it has been carrying, whatever it hasn't said aloud, whatever quiet ache or quiet hope has been living underneath the surface of an ordinary week. The heart has felt so much over the course of this life. Loneliness in rooms that should have felt full. Fear on nights when the future refused to explain itself. Tenderness for people and places that mattered more than could ever quite be said. Grief for things that ended before they were ready to, and running underneath all of it, a stubborn, quiet hope. The kind that keeps showing up even when it has no evidence yet that it should. All of that is welcome here tonight. None of it needs to be resolved before it's allowed through the door. A home doesn't ask its residents to be tidy before they're let in. It simply opens. If there is sadness here tonight, let it come in and sit down. If there's worry, let it come in too and set its bags down by the door. It can pick them up tomorrow again if it needs to, but not tonight. If there is loneliness, know that in this exact moment, across the whole sleeping world, countless other hearts are feeling some version of the very same thing, which means, in its own quiet way, you are not as alone in the feeling as it can seem. My heart is welcome here exactly as it is. Nothing it feels needs to be fixed before it can rest. Let that be true for whatever is present tonight. The easy feelings and the harder ones alike. My heart is welcome here exactly as it is. Nothing it feels needs to be fixed before it can rest. There is also likely something gentler here tonight. Gratitude. Maybe for a particular person or a particular ordinary moment from the day that mattered more than it seemed to at the time. Let that be welcomed too. A home holds all of it, the ache and the gladness, the grief and the tenderness, without asking any of it to leave in order to make room for the rest. There is room here for everything you are tonight. If it would help, silently name whatever feeling is most present right now. Not to analyze it, only to acknowledge it. The way you'd greet someone standing at your door. Hello, worry. Hello, tiredness. Hello, whatever quiet hope is still somehow managing to stay lit. All of it welcome. None of it needs to explain itself before it's allowed to rest here with you tonight. And now, the mind, busiest of the three, and often the last to believe it's allowed to rest. The mind has been working hard, likely for longer than anyone properly noticed, scanning for problems, anticipating what could go wrong, turning over the day's conversations, the week's undone tasks, the year's larger uncertainties, looking for some new angle that might finally make everything feel settled. It rarely finds one, because most of what the mind is guarding against tonight is not actually happening right now. It's a memory or a prediction, neither of which requires solving at midnight. Here is an invitation for the mind specifically, offered the way you might speak to someone who has been standing guard far too long. You can stand down now. Nothing is coming tonight that needs defending against. The door is closed. The house is quiet, and every unresolved thing on the list will still be exactly where it was left, waiting patiently until morning, where there will be a whole day available to think about it, should it still need thinking about at all. Let the thoughts slow, not stop. Thoughts rarely stop on command, but lighten the way traffic lightens towards the end of a long evening. Fewer cars, longer gap, until eventually there's mostly just quiet road. My mind has done enough today. It is welcome to rest now unguarded. Let the forehead soften. Let the space behind the eyes go quiet, and allow these words settle there. My mind has done enough today. It is welcome to rest now unguarded. If a thought arrives anyway, and it likely will, because minds are like that even on the best of nights, there's no need to fight it or follow it. Simply notice it, the way you might notice a passing car outside a window. It arrives, it moves through, and it goes on its way, without needing you to chase it down the street to see where it's headed. You can let thoughts pass like that tonight, arriving and leaving while you stay exactly where you are. Give the mind one simple thing to rest on if it needs something to hold instead of everything. The fact that this exact moment does not require solving. It only requires breathing. Everything else can wait for daylight, when the mind will have far more energy and far more clarity than it has any hope of finding at this hour. Now, a slow walk the rest of the way home. 10 steps, each one settling the body a little further, each one bringing you a little closer to the place you never really left. There's no need to rush any of these steps. Home does not go anywhere while you're walking toward it. Ten. A long breath in and a long breath out. Feel the whole body here, in this bed, in this room. This is the doorstep. You are almost home. 9. The feet completely at rest now, heavy and warm. Nothing left for them to carry tonight. 8. The legs sinking a little deeper into stillness. Every mile they've ever walked has led eventually to this exact quiet. 7. The belly and chest rising and falling more slowly now. The breath itself beginning to feel like an old familiar room. 6. The hands open and still. Nothing left to hold on to tonight. Everything that needed carrying has been set down 5. The shoulders, dropping fully now, the last of the day's weight sliding off them like a coat finally taken off at the door. 4. The heart settling into its own steady rhythm, not fixed, not solved, simply held the way it has always eventually been held. Three, the jaw unclenching, the face softening into something closer to peace than it has looked all day. 2. The mind, quiet now, or as close to quiet as it gets. The noise of the day fading into something more like distant, harmless static. 1. Here, home. Nothing more to walk toward tonight. Only this body, heart, and mind arrived together in the same still place. This is what arrival feels like. Not fireworks, not a dramatic unlocking of some hidden door. Just this, a quiet settling, a body finally believed when it says it's tired, a heart finally allowed to feel whatever it feels without needing to justify it, a mind finally permitted to stop keeping watch. You are home, not because anything outside of you has changed. The same unresolved things are still likely unresolved. The same open questions are likely still open, but because something inside has for this moment stopped bracing against all of it. That is what home actually is. Not the absence of difficulty, the presence of enough safety to finally rest in spite of it. Everything this life has asked of you, every hard night, every quiet ache, every moment you weren't sure you were enough or safe or loved. All of it was, in some way, part of the long walk back to exactly this. This breath, this stillness, this self fully welcomed, needing nothing more to be worthy of rest than the simple fact of being alive tonight. I am home. I am safe. I am loved. I belong here. Let those words settle into every part of you that has ever doubted it. I am home. I am safe. I am loved. I belong here. There will be more nights after this one. Some will feel like home easily, without any effort at all. Others will feel far from it, and you will have to find your way back all over again, the way you have so many times before. That is simply what it is to be a person living a life. But here is what tonight can leave you with, underneath all of it. The knowing that the way back is never actually far. It was never a long journey. It was always exactly this close. One breath, one moment of honesty, one willingness to stop and notice you're already here. Somewhere right now, porch light is on for someone making their way back after a long day. Somewhere a door is being left unlocked for someone still finding their way. And here tonight, that same quiet welcome is yours, not waiting somewhere out ahead of you, but already here, already true, already yours to rest inside. Let the thoughts go quiet now. Let the body be as heavy and as warm as it wants to be. There's nothing left to walk toward. There is nowhere else to be. Whatever tomorrow holds, it can wait for tomorrow to be dealt with. Tonight only holds this: a bed, a breath, a body finally believed when it says it's tired, and a quiet, steady welcome that was here the whole time, waiting for you to notice it. You are home. You are allowed to stay. I am home. I am safe. I am loved. I belong here. I am home. I am safe. I am loved. I belong here. I am home. I am safe. I am loved. I belong here. I am home. I am safe. I am loved. I belong here. This is the last of the Coming Home to Yourself series on Words to Hold You spoken by Tara. If you've been here since the very first night, thank you. 10 weeks is a long time to keep someone company, and it's been an honor to sit beside you through all of it. And if this is the first night you found your way here, welcome. You are just as home in this moment as anyone who has been listening from the start. These 10 weeks were never really about 20 separate nights. They were about the same simple truth, said a little differently each time, that you are allowed to rest exactly as you are without having earned it first. Either way, if these words have been useful to you, there's a small button nearby that lets you keep receiving them. No pressure in it, only an open door, exactly like this one has always been. Sleep well. You are home.